For many people, Seattle's greatest contribution to the culinary food scene would be considered Starbucks coffee. And as a multinational and multi-billion dollar corporation, it would be hard to argue against it. But for me, even stacked against all odds, my personal favorite Seattle food invention has to be the Seattle dog. The combination of a grilled hot dog with the creamiest cream cheese and caramelized onions is an absolute masterpiece for me. And today, we'll make my version of the Seattle dog. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video. Alright, chill. Remember to wash your hands. And then the first thing we'll do is chop up our onions to caramelize. I'm gonna cut that into slices along the grain. Then to a pan on medium-high, I'll add in a splash of oil, I'll drop in our sliced onions, and I'll start to cook that down. Now, the original Seattle dog was invented back in 1988 by a man named Hadley Long. Hadley was actually from Ohio though, and he primarily sold bagels and cream cheese from his bagel cart in Pioneer Square. At the time, his cart wasn't particularly successful, and Seattle natives didn't necessarily welcome his Midwest flair with open arms, as he was expecting. Now, at some point though, Hadley expanded the menu due to late night demands to include hot dogs. And of course, he had to include cream cheese on both sides of the bun before adding in the hot dog. Then in the 1990s, in tandem with the growth of the grunge music scene, the Seattle dog continued to increase in popularity as carts outside of bars and music venues continue to push them to the masses. And as they say, the rest is history. Now, once the onions have browned, I'll season them simply with a pinch of salt and a touch of sugar. We'll get that combined, and I'm not looking to reduce my onions too much or have them turn jammy. I still want there to be a bit of a bite. And once they're cooked through, we'll move them to the side. Now for the hot dogs, I'm actually going to be using these hot links from Evergood today, and they produce my favorite hot links. The casing on these dogs are snappy, and the slight kick from the heat pairs perfectly with the cream cheese. I like cutting mine in half to get more surface area to grill, but you can leave these whole, whatever your preference is. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. We'll toss these on the grill to char. I'll cook these for about 6 to 8 minutes, flipping halfway in between. Now, these are the buns I'm using today, and a typical Seattle dog is served on a hoagie roll or a bialy. I'll just warm these up on the grill, and then it's time to assemble our dog. Now I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese spread, and I'll let that sit outside at room temp for a bit just to make it easier to spread. And like Hadley, I'll make sure to spread some cream cheese on both sides of the bun, and don't skimp here. We'll get our grilled hot link on, and then we'll top that with our caramelized onions. Now there is some conflict on whether the Seattle dog comes with grilled onions or not, as Hadley's version didn't include it, but to me, a true Seattle dog isn't a Seattle dog without it. And from here, you can add whatever toppings you want, like jalapenos or mustard, but honestly, I think it's perfect the way that it is. And just like that, you've made a Seattle dog at home. And I don't think you really need it, but the printable recipe is on my blog at feedthepudge.com. Now, the Seattle dog to me isn't just a food item. It's an integral part of Seattle's cultural identity, and it reflects our quirky and inventive spirit. The Seattle dog is a staple of street food in the city. You can find it at our nightlife districts in Capitol Hill and Pioneer Square, at all of our sports stadiums, and at our concert venues. Its enduring popularity is a testament to the power of simple, yet innovative culinary traditions, and it's my favorite way of eating a hot dog. Now, in my early 20s, I spent a lot of my weekends going out to bars and clubs, frequently spending time at places like 95 Slide and Rhino Room in Capitol Hill. And not that I condone excessively drinking by any means, but that's absolutely what I did on most Fridays and Saturdays. And to me, there was nothing better than a Seattle dog after a night of drinking. Now, there used to be one hot dog vendor in particular, and his name was Javi. He had his cart in front of the Shell gas station on the corner of Pike and Broadway, and in my opinion, he had the very best Seattle dogs in the history of mankind. Good quality dogs, he never skimped on the cream cheese or the grilled onions, and he had wild toppings like chorizo, pineapple, and pico de gallo on top of all your standard toppings. His lines were always long, but they moved quickly. And his cart even had a little fireplace and was lit up by a bright Jägermeister sign for the ambiance. I have so many fond memories that I've forgotten of just drunkenly enjoying this man's hot dogs. A handful of years ago, though, he just stopped showing up and no one knows where he disappeared to. And another cart has since taken over, but it's never been quite the same. And now, every so often, I'll randomly think of Javi and his hot dogs. So if anyone has a clue on where this man is at now, please send him my regards for being such a huge part of my life in my 20s. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments section what your favorite hot dog toppings are. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.